Hello everyone, welcome back to Luke's Movie Talk. I'll cover some of the most recent movies I've been watching. And for this video I'll be looking at the new DC movie, Black Adam. But just before I get into that, I uploaded a review for Star Wars Tales of the Jedi, the new Disney Plus series. So if you're interested, go give that a watch. And make sure to like and subscribe to keep up to date with all future uploads. Okay, so let's get into the plot of Black Adam. So at the start, we get a long and detailed monologue about Kahndaq and its history. An evil king creates the crown of Sabak to gain ultimate power to connect with the 6 devils that it is meant to connect with to give him these powers. At the same time, a slave boy rebels and is then chosen by the Council of Wizards to gain the powers of Shazam. So it's the same group of wizards that are mentioned in Shazam and the same solo one we see in the Shazam movie. He's there as well. He kills the king, ending his tyrannical reign. He then vanishes into history, so no one knows what happened to him after all of this happened. In the present day, an archaeologist, Adriana, is looking for the crown to keep it out of the hands of nefarious groups. When she finds the crown, she is ambushed by Intergang, the current rulers of Kahndaq, and they take the crown. So basically they had her followed and they want the crown because Intergang is basically almost like a mercenary group that's in control of Kahndaq. With no other options, Adriana reads the incantations on the floor and awakens Teth Adam. Adam goes around and destroys all the men, equipment and weapons with ease. So he basically is shot up by them, the bullets are ricocheting off, rockets are hitting him, and they're just not affecting him. He's basically like, this is weak magic, and he is basically unstoppable. The Justice Society are mobilised to subdue Adam and stop any more death and damage. So basically, Adam just doesn't care and is killing all these mercenaries. He couldn't care less because they're attacking him, so he's just taking them out. Adriana's son slowly grows a bond with Adam after he awakens from being injured. So there's this material called, I think it is Ethereum or something, or Eternium, and it injures Adam, and he ends up back at Adriana's place to rest. And the boy, who's a huge superhero fan, basically is like a biggest fan of superheroes I think you could be the next big superhero. It's revealed one of Adriana's friends, Ishmael, is the leader of Intergang and was after the crown from her. Adam, after beating more Intergang thugs, is confronted by the Justice Society, Hawkman, Dr. Fate, Cyclone and Atom Smasher. Even with their combined strength, they are nothing to Adam. So Hawkman, he's got this techie hawk suit and I think it's called a Morning Star, the weapon. Dr. Fate is basically like the Doctor Strange of DC, but possibly more overpowered because it's an alien helmet that chooses their wearer, so it could be more powerful. Cyclone, who has like wind powers, and Atom Smasher, who's basically Ant-Man. And he just takes them all out. He just has no trouble. Even with them teaming up and holding him down, he just blasts out with his powers. With Force now off the table, Adriana tries to get Adam and the Justice Society to talk it out. In the meantime, Ishmael kidnaps Amon, Adriana's son, to trade for the crown. Ishmael is the descendant of the king, and they trade the crown for Amon. But Ishmael tries to shoot Amon, sending Adam into a rage, killing Ishmael and injuring Amon. After the action, Adam reveals to Hawkeye that the champion was actually his son. The son transferred the powers to save Adam's life. Adam's son, Harut, was then killed and sent Adam into a rage, killing the king, all of his guards, and destroying the palace. So there's actually a big statue in the middle of Kahndaq, and it's not actually Adam, it's actually his son, and everyone thinks that Adam's this big superhero, but no, it was Harut who was the actual hero, and Adam was just given these powers. The wizards then found him unworthy, and they were the ones that imprisoned him in the stone. To try and make things right, Adam depowers and surrenders. He is then taken to Task Force X's black site to be imprisoned so he can't do any more damage. Dr. Fate's visions of the future where Hawkman dies haven't changed, and when they return to Kahndaq, they realise Ishmael intentionally died to become the champion of hell to gain the powers of Sabak. So he actually had to die to go to hell so that the 6 devils could give him the powers of Sabak, which is the crown. Dr. Fate then goes to the old palace to fight Sabak alone to save the others, because he knows that if Hawkman goes, he's going to die, but the only future where, or one of the only futures where he survives is when Dr. Fate gives his life. Fate talks to Adam's mind, saying they need his help. Fate is then killed by Sabak, and the rest of the Justice Society try and fight him. They are no match though, and when they are about to lose, Adam appears, and with the help of Hawkman, Adam kills Sabak. Adam then becomes the protector of Kahndaq, and uses the new name Black Adam. We then get a really cool scene of Superman arriving, wanting to talk to Adam. So, overall, I had a great time with this film. I know it's not going to be the best quality-wise in terms of story, but the action is the top-tier action. There's a ton of special effects for the superpowers flying around, and Black Adam just kicking ass and taking no names and taking no prisoners either. So Johnson was awesome and funny. He was such a cool character because he was just blank faced most of the time, but gave out some really funny, quick one-liners that the son Amon taught him, and it was so funny because it was such deadpan humour. It was really good. And then the visuals were really good as well. I thought a lot of the visual effects were awesome, especially to do with Cyclone and her wind abilities. The colour for it was great. I love the suits of Dr. Fate and Hawkman. I think they were really cool. And overall, I just think the visuals were top tier. The action and the fighting were almost non-stop and spectacular. So I'll talk about the plot later on, but for the fighting, it's basically from the start, it's just fight scene, quick intermission, long fight scene with the Justice Society, intermission, then a fight scene with Sabak. It's just fight, and it's awesome. And it was such a fun change of breath, I guess you could say, because a lot of the time it's very focused. But this one was very fight, and it was a nice change up. Adam is intimidating and holds nothing back, so he's a very different kind of superhero, anti-hero, where he doesn't take anyone seriously and he'll just bat anyone away that he doesn't like or care about. It was really cool. It's an interesting backstory for Karndak and Adam with the twist, which I thought was really cool. So everyone thought, yeah, Adam is the true hero, but no, it was actually his son, and Adam just kind of got the powers by accident. I love seeing the Justice Society and the different powers. So I thought Hawkman was really cool. It gave it a more techie feel to his suit. Dr. Fate was awesome. I love the mystic of it all. It was really cool. I love Cyclone's wind abilities and the visual of it all. It was really cool. And then Adam Smasher. I thought they did a really good job with the mask visuals. It was very much like Deadpool's mask, and I thought they did a nice job of that. And then the last little bit was that I loved the Superman credit scene. So it's nice to see Cavill back in full form, back in the DCU. Okay, and then some of the unfortunate drawbacks of the film was that the side characters were so bland. A lot of the human characters were just unnecessary, like Adriana and Amon and the brother as well. We didn't need them there. They were kind of just fit-ins for the audience where we didn't really need them. We could have just done with Black Adam and the Justice Society, but the humans were just kind of there, even though the brother was kind of funny. The story was paper thin and it was focused on the action. I did say that the action was great, and I mean that. It was all, but it would have been nice to have a bit more of a balance, because the story was so just like thin. It was like a Black Adam appears, the Justice Society fight him, he's imprisoned, a new bad guy appears, and they win. That was literally it. There's not much more to it than that. The Justice Society had little character background or development. We didn't get anything on Hawkman, Dr. Fate, Adam Smasher, really, any of their backstory, how they got their powers. We got a small glimpse into Cyclone about how she got treated and was forced to give these powers, but other than that, we didn't get really much backstory on them. They were kind of just thrown into the story and just have fun, which I kind of guess is nice, but I would have liked a bit more depth in their story characters. And then Sabak was just an evil version of Adam and Shazam, so he's just kind of the generic, like, oh, the superhero has these powers, let's make the villain the exact same, which was kind of boring. It would have been cool if we had a villain with a different power set to complement it a bit more, but it was just kind of copy and paste with a different visual design. But yeah, overall, I had a fun time with this film. The story left me wanting more, but the action made up for that. It was constant action. I loved it for that. But yeah, overall, I recommend this film. If you like DC, this will be a must-watch for you. But yeah, that's my thoughts on this film. If you like the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to keep up to date with all future uploads. And until next time, I will see you all later.